This is how I lost $1,100 trading NQ. Pre-market, we were looking super bullish. We were reacting out of this daily gap on NQ. ES was just printing higher, reacting out of this daily gap from a few days ago. 4 hour just had a good retrace. We inverse this 4 hour gap. To me, it just looks like we're going to continue higher, to all-time highs. Maybe not all-time highs, but a lot higher. We had just barely inversed this 1 hour gap on NQ as well. We were holding this 1 hour bullish gap, so to me it just looked like we were going to print higher. We had this 1 hour right below as well, with good intermediate 1 hour targets above. All I want to see was, retrace into the 1 hour gap and continue higher. We also have these intermediate lows. 30-minute, 15-minute were kind of irrelevant because it's the same targets as what it would be on the 1 hour. So, and then on top of this low time frame, we were accumulating. So accumulation, manipulation, distribution is what would be ideal. ES also had the 1 hour below, as well as these highs that could look for. I think that was all-time highs now. But intermediate 1 hour highs right here that we could target. So overall, super bullish. Would probably not be looking for any shorts. Yeah. So market opens and we just decide to absolutely tank without hitting anything. Come down. We're in the 1 hour now, and we just continue lower. In fact, we retrace into this 5-minute, and this was right after we swept these 1 hour intermediate lows. We had the daily intermediate low and the daily gap below that you possibly could look for a trade to. I didn't. Some people took shorts right here. I was super bullish, so I wasn't going to take any shorts. End up taking out the daily intermediate low, and at this point we resweep. If we inverse this, I believe I would be looking for longs there. Let me think. Yeah, I think I was considering taking longs if we inverse this because trying to remember. It's gonna load. Yeah, we had this 4 hour gap. I forgot about that. Or 4-minute gap, which we end up displacing through. Once again, you could take longs right here and go super fast break even at this. Would that, yeah. Oh no, I didn't take it because we were going to create a 15-minute gap immediately right as this candle closed at 7 a.m. So I wasn't willing to take that. We end up continuing higher into the 15-minute. At this point, I just want to see a healthy retrace into 5-minute gap and then take continuations up to intermediate 15-minute highs. Dang, I was on ES the whole time. Wow, okay, well, oops. We end up inversing on 4-minute right here, as you can see. Pretty much exact same thing. We're in the 15-minute. At this point, want to see retrace down into a 5-minute gap and then take continuation longs out of that. We're we've swept all the liquidity to the downside. There's no reason for us to continue lower. We inverse this 5-minute right here. This wasn't even 4 minutes, this was 5-minute. I forgot about that. We're probably just gonna displace through this 15-minute gap, or that's at least what I was thinking at the time. We end up retracing into the 5-minute, and then we even resweep it and create this 1-minute gap. If we were to inverse this 1-minute gap cleanly, I would totally be looking for longs, which we never do. It's just complete chop. And then right here, right as we inverse it, we open up a 15-minute down here, right under this low. And so I wasn't going to take this long, but this would have been a really nice long that I would have wanted if it was earlier and cleaner. We end up coming down and hitting the 15-minute, and at this point I'm just looking for an inverse of this 1 minute gap, which we get, and then I take longs. If you look on ES, there's all this low resistance liquidity right here to target, and the 15-minute intermediate high, which was also a which on NQ is now a 30-minute unfilled gap, which is an even better draw. Reacting out of the 15-minute, it's overall, I just think it's a really good trade. The only thing I don't like about it is the chop and how late in the day it was. I've never taken a trade this late before. It's 7:33. I try and get off around like 7:15. But I thought this trade was, a good trade. There was no reason for us to go lower. I had super strong draws above, all the way up here. I was planning on holding partials all the way up to there. I would have gone take profit at first TP at 1-to-1, probably. Yeah, probably would have gone first TP at 1-to-1 because the draws that I was going to hold to were like 1-to-4 or something crazy like that. Yeah, 1-to-3. So want to take a little bit of profit. And as you can see, we end up, oh no, yeah, see, it would have been 1-to-4. But as you can see, we end up hitting stop loss. Then we go a little bit higher, but this would have hit TP1 because, my 1-to-1 was messed up. But get wicked out for stop loss, come up into the 30-minute gap, and we just continue lower. So overall, I thought it was a really good trade. I think low time frame, added up. We had all that low resistance liquidity on ES. The only thing I didn't like about it, only thing at all, was just the chop and, the how late it was in the day, which isn't necessarily that big of a deal. I was a little bit hesitant on it, but it is what it is. So, minus 1100 on the day on the account. Does it show? No. I break even again on the account. I was risking like 900 on that train, lost 1100 due to slippage, which kind of sucks, but is what it is.